Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries, and in this RPG reviews video I'm going to be looking at Jadetech White Jade, a supplement for Reroll Productions game Jadepunk. Now, I was lucky enough to be sent a review copy of this by Ryan M. Danks at Reroll Productions, so thanks very much for that, Ryan. And Jadetech White Jade is written by Jacob Poseen. And you can see my original review of Jadepunk, the system that the supplement is for, there. And this is the fourth of 6 Jadetech supplements, each dealing with a different type of jade. And I'll put a link to my original reviews of that over there. It's approximately 16 pages long, the PDF, and costs $2.99 American, which is just under £2 in English money. The cover continues the layout from previous Jadetech supplements, this time showing a white glowing orb, the game's icon for White Jade. The orb seems a little less well defined than on previous supplements, but this is only to be expected given the printing / artwork challenges that were no doubt involved in depicting something that's essentially white and colourless. Also, given that White Jade is airy and ephemeral, it seems kind of appropriate anyway. The opening fiction of the PDF deals with 2 people fleeing from the Kaosao city guard, taking refuge in a temple and making an ingenious and innovative use of White Jade to escape. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's planning to read it, but the fiction is fast-paced, interesting, and it shows off one of the things that White Jade does best. So, we then move on to a section which is about where White Jade is found and what properties it has. Now, White Jade is the second rarest form of jade in the world, Black Jade being the only jade that's rarer than it. It is associated with air, breath and freedom within the game, making it easy to work, but it can also become brittle and very delicate if not handled and treated with care, although this actual delicacy is a characteristic that is prized by some sculptors and artists seeking to capture the fragility of its nature in their work. White Jade is found naturally in veins high in mountain ranges or as tiny particles carried on the winds. The book then moves on to tell us that White Jade was originally hidden in the lands of the Irish people, who were then a primitive tribe who eventually unlocked the Jade's secrets, following the stories and legends of their ancestors, who they believed to be descended from heavenly birds who were cast down to earth. And once they'd mastered it, they used it to conquer all of the surrounding nations. Eventually, the creation of airships led to them taking their place as one of the great nations in the setting, as they are in the modern day of the Jadepunk setting. Jadetech White Jade gives a little more information about how the airships of various nations tend to look. Now, I think this is a wise inclusion because, let's face it, airships are innately cool, and they can make for some very dramatic sequences in games. The book also describes how White Jade is used in everyday life, giving some examples from the White Jade rails of the Jade Rail mass transit system to making hammers that don't require the heat of the forge to work metal and creating long-range communication devices, just to name a few. The book keeps the same layout style of the previous books in this series. Information box outs are separated either with torn parchment scraps or in splats of colour. And whilst I like the fact that the layout has remained fairly consistent throughout the Jadetech series, I don't feel the colour splats, being a combination of white and cream in this book, are as striking for obvious reasons. Although this doesn't detract massively from the enjoyment of the book, and it does actually lead to the pages feeling more open and a little less cluttered. The book rounds off with a number of ready-made assets, from super light opal steel to whips that can deliver devastating impact to boots that allow the wearer to walk up walls. And of course there are some details on those all-important airships. As with all the other books in this series, White Jade provides interesting new options for both GMs and players, allowing you to add an additional layer to the background of the world. However, it's all optional extra stuff. You could get along perfectly fine without any of the details in this book. However, for the low price that's being asked for this PDF and for the wealth of information they've managed to cram into just 16 digest size pages, I really think you cannot go far wrong with this book. It's a great addition to the Jadetech series. I'm certainly glad to have a copy. If you're interested in Jadepunk, or you want to look at how equipment-based magic can be used without adding a great deal of complexity to the game, or you're just looking for some extra background information that you can sprinkle on your own Jadepunk game, or some extra assets, then I highly recommend you give this PDF a look. So if you've enjoyed this video, you'll click on the red dice up there to subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you like this review, give it a thumbs down if you didn't. If you have any comments, please put them in the box below, or as always, hit me up in the Google Plus links. I'll also put a link down there to where you can get this supplement from. So until I see you next time, take care and happy gaming. Goodbye.